Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and this is video 10 in our series, Let It Snow. Now, when we left off, we were working on page 1 of the third section, and this first section, before I take a break in this video and then come back, we're going to talk about a couple things about page 1. So, before you look at this, we originally have this, and then this centerpiece folds out. That's all the same. Okay? So this still flips in, this flips up, and there's 2 magnets here to hold that. Then this flips up, and I added 2 magnets here to hold the flip up. And then you have to flip page 1 over and put 2 magnets there, and then I believe these 2 magnets were supposed to hold the flap, so we can take those off. They're not holding anything, so we can recover these 2 magnets. I think we might have done that in the video, and so they're too far back. I meant to put them on the back of page 1. Okay, so that's one thing right there that's different. Sorry about my shaky voice. And then, instead of the 2 flaps on the top, the 2 double fold-out flaps, that was too much trouble to figure out how to get to hold them closed so they didn't flap open. And so I replaced them with an expandable pocket. Now, it's not, as you can see, well, even if it did, we would have to have papered it first. But it's not going to have a policy closure. It actually has a magnet that holds it shut. So, a couple of things about this. I went ahead and did it because we've done expandable pockets before. It starts 1/2 inch. No. 1/4 inch. Yeah. 1/4 inch above the top of the flip down. So, 1/4 of an inch above this when it's laying flat on the page. And then this pocket is 2.5 inches tall by 6 3/4 wide. Then the flap, I made it 2.5, scored it at half, right? And then we only ended up with a 2-inch flap. So what I would do, if I could do it again, is I would make this a 3-inch piece of paper, score it at a half, because you see how close the magnets are to the edge. And then I would have a 2.5 inch flap, and that would give me an extra 1/2 inch, you know, for putting the magnets on. This actually goes all the way to the top. Something was laying on it when I inked it, and I got ink all over it. So the flap gets attached to the top with the mitered corners, just like we attached every other flap on every other page that's had a flap, all the policy closure pages. This is made with the expandable side just to give you a little extra room in here, just like we did all the pockets with the policy closures. So this is all the same. That's why I didn't do it on camera. The only thing I did wrong was I should have papered, you know, put the flap on, then papered this whole section here, and then put the pocket on. Because now, what I thought was just going to be this part that I would see, which, if you paper it first, you won't even see that. I'm going to see all the way down to here. So now I have to do some maneuvering to paper. I thought, you know, paper right across here. And then I'm going to have to butt the paper right up against here and just use this side's inking. Because I inked it before I glued it on, to mask the fact that I didn't put the pocket on after I had papered it. So that was a mistake. That was my mistake. And I'm the one that's going to have to paper it to make it work. All right. So once again, paper this section, which is going to be your 6 3/4 by 8. Paper that first. put the top flap on first, paper this entire section, right, paper this entire section, which is your 6 3/4 by 8, then put your top pocket on. And then when you paper this, it'll be fine. Make sure to ink around the pocket, and that way when you just put the paper inside, it will look right. We went ahead and did all this in the white paper because all of the building parts on all the other two sections are done that way. Then I went through and I numbered my pages. So this is page 1. Remember, it opens this way. 2, 3, and it doesn't matter that it's backwards. It's in the order of the videos we're going to do. So when you're referring to the free PDF, the tutorial PDF that you get, if you're a member of the Facebook group, then you'll know what the reference is in the document as to what page we're doing. So it doesn't matter that they're backwards. It's just the order of the videos. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. I've got a lot of big pages on this one, so I'm going to have to think about what I want to do on here. So the other thing is to go ahead and paper this. Now, I'm not going to do all this papering on camera. That seems awful silly. What I did do is I wrote for the things I knew ahead of time that I wanted to put on the pages. I wrote it down. You don't have to do any kind of pockets or anything like that. We'll go over it real quick when we come back after the break, and then we'll move on to page 2. But on this section here, which is the top half, that's between the flip up and the pocket, or I mean is behind the flip up, I'm so sorry, I'm going to make a hidden pocket. So whatever I paper this section right here, I'm going to take another piece of paper that matches it, line it all up, and make a hidden pocket. I know that ahead of time. So I'll have that done probably when we come back. I want to put a belly band here across this so that when it flips up, flip it down, there's a belly band there and a hidden pocket there. The other ones, I want to leave a writing space on this very bottom section, so I'm going to use the blue construction paper on here with the stencil. Remember, we're going to include a white jelly pen, so that you can write on the blue. And then I haven't decided this part, what I'm going to do. So, you know, I'll probably do it and then come back and show you what I did, so you can, because you can decide. It's up to you. If you want to put another, if you want to put a belly band here and a pocket across here, or 2 pockets this way, or, you know what I mean? It's all subjective. Whatever it is you want to put on each page. You can make, if you're using white, you can make this a writing area and this a writing area, which I might do, and add something here and add something here, because you'll see it against the writing. So you probably don't want 2 blue sections next to each other. Okay, so those are some tips. You could put whatever you want above the flip up. I decided to put a large pocket. I left the 1/2 inch because it's easier to manage. You've got a place to grab the bottom. And also, remember, when we tie this section shut so that none of it comes open, then we need a place for the ribbon. Now, we could do it this way now, or we could do it this way to where the ribbon goes across the middle here. So now we've left both options open depending on, you know, what we do with the rest of the pages, which way we think the ribbon will look the best. But we're definitely going to have to use a ribbon across the back and around and tie it in the front to hold the whole section shut, just like we did section 1 and section 2. After we get this section done, we'll do the last section, which is section 4, and it's going to be real easy. Then we'll put them all in the book, and then we'll do the covers. So hopefully, you know, I've set aside now 20 days but I'm hoping still to get it done in 15 videos. Okay, so I'm going to let you go for a minute. I'm going to do all this papering and everything off camera when my paper gets here on Monday. Today's Saturday. I don't know how I'm going to stay away for 2 whole days because I do want to get it done. Anyway, and then I will record the rest of video 10 on Monday, and to you it'll be instantaneous, but to me it'll be 2 days, 3 days worth of papering. So it won't take you that long. I'm just going to have to go through what I have and then decide what I'm going to do out of the new that I'm going to get, so that it isn't all just the backs of the big papers that I have left right now. All right, I'll see you in just 1 second. Okay, we're back. This is what I came up with the papers. I hope you like it. Starting at the top, this is our large envelope, and it opens like this. Oh, and I covered the magnet with this, and now I realize it's a little thick. No, it works. I thought the magnet wasn't catching. I covered this with this paper and the red. This is the bottom half of the envelope here, and I added a little bird and the word joy. This says 'tis the season. This says it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It's a longer from the piece, and I cut it down to where the words were in the center. I added this to the bottom, which I really like. Now, this became so thick that the magnets would not hold it. Don't worry, these are the back pages. So right here, so I had to go ahead and add some Velcro dots, but I should have been able to rescue these 2 magnets. Okay, so we'll do that in just a second. And then it folds down like this, so you can't see the Velcro dots here. They're the clear, but you do have 2 little white dots here, but they're on the green and white, so you don't notice it. Oh, I just realized I used the same paper. Well, darn, it's too late now. This is a clear belly band, and I was having trouble with the card staying in. And I saw someone online, and darn it, I should have wrote it down because it's somebody that I know and you would probably know too. And they put a little circle at the bottom of theirs to kind of tuck the card in. So what I did was I added this, and it's a pocket. And there's a little card in here that fell down in. There it is. I'll get a bigger one. There's a little card that fits in there, so I'll just get one that's taller. Okay, and a writing card, another blue one. Like I said, you can replace these. There's a lot of patterns going on. Oh, here's our hidden pocket. So here's the 2 tags that go here. You have to make sure that they're kind of in a little bit so they don't cover your Velcro dot. Then I added this ephemera here, but I added it as a tuck or a little side pocket. Okay. Then this opens down here. See, that's the paper that's the same, which I didn't mean to do, but I didn't realize it because this was open. And I have a clear belly band across here. I don't have anything in there right now. Then this opens like this. Here's a writing page, and it has a little decoration on one side plus the stenciling on the other side, and I made that into a little pocket. I did the same down here with the writing paper that I told you I was going to put in, and there's a little side pocket with a piece of ephemera here. And I put this poinsettia belly band here, and I didn't put a card in because I think one of the patterned green cards of the pattern, maybe the small stripe would go better there instead of a blue placeholder card, because then that would be a lot of blue there And I don't think it would look right even, you know, during the flip through at the end. Okay, so that goes up there, that goes up there, and then this will be our front page. I put a tab at the top because it opens to the right, so that way people didn't keep trying to figure out, you know, where to open it. And now we're going to do page 2, and if we have time, we'll do page 3. Let's see, we've got 40 minutes. For an hour. And so let's go ahead and get this going. We don't need this right now. Oh, let's get these magnets off here. They're not holding anything. Of course, we'll double check, but I'm pretty sure they aren't. I was able to rescue 2 other magnets as well. This is a paper clip that I curled. We may use this. Oh, come on, tape. Oh, wait a minute. That is sticking to something. Oh, it's sticking to this because there was no way to recover the magnets, but this is still too heavy. So we're going to take them off. That'll save those 2. Let's double check. Make sure it's not holding anything on the inside. Yeah, no, it wasn't. Because we have the Velcro dots. Okay, so let's go. Page 2 is going to be a full-size page. So, well, it's not going to be 8 by 8, but it's going to be 6 3/4. You're going to take an 8 off on each side. And then the height should be 8. Which it is. Okay. So this is the paper we're going to use right here. Yeah, I think this would be too many patterns. If I had realized this was on the other side, I might have used a different paper, but we've got our light snowflakes on here. Okay, so now we're going to take this off. We're going to close the book up and set it to the side. Now what we're going to do, and in fact we're going to set this to the side as well, is we're going to make an envelope. Okay. Well, actually, it's 2 envelopes. I don't need that yet. What we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 envelopes, which I've done a little bit of papering on, and we're going to overlap them like this so that they fill the width of the page. And then on here where it comes together, we're going to put a policy closure. Okay. Then that'll give us this pocket. It will give us this pocket. Then we'll glue it on the page as a belly band or a pocket this way, depending on how you want to do it and where you put it vertically on the page. It's going to take up most of the page. We could put it at the bottom. and make a pocket out of it. Or you can put it here and make a belly band out of it. It's going to be a little bit wider. It's going to be about here. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a mark where we want the bottom of this envelope to be. Okay, so now what we want to do next is it probably will be easier to paper the fronts of these without them being hooked together. Now you'll see that when we glue them together, we're gluing them front to front. Okay, we won't see this unless you attach it with a paper clip and then put something on the page, which would be kind of cool too. Hadn't thought of that. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Let me think about that before we take our last step. So we want to glue these together as a pocket. Oh wait, we want to do the flaps first, and we're only going to do the fronts right now. The front is going to be the pattern. And then the inside is going to be the back side. Do I want to do that? Do I want to do both sides this way? Let's paper the fronts, because I know I want those to be decorative. And on this thin paper, I've inked it all around. You can see I've inked it everywhere, even though you're not going to see. Ooh, that was like a chalk on a blackboard. Even though you're not going to see a lot of it. And this is so thin, it's hard to trace around. When you ink it, that's where I was going. So when you ink it, you're going to want to be careful in this center, because they're thin business envelopes or invitation envelopes. That's what they are, invitation envelopes, so you know the size. And could have just glued that, couldn't I have cut around it? Might have been easier. But I'm almost done tracing it now. Maybe we'll do the other one that way. Looks like we're going to have to trim it. Try not to trace around your thumb. I should have cut these out ahead of time, I guess. I think I showed you before how to do this. Look, it cut Santa's head off. Oh no, it didn't. There's his head. So it doesn't seem right, does it? Yes. So you have to keep track what's the front and what's the back. I put B for bread, and that almost confused me that it was the back. This is the front. And then when we do it like this, this is the back. Okay. I usually wait and trim it. Yeah, it's going to need to be trimmed. I usually wait and trim it after I've gotten both sides on. Sometimes they're off. Both of them are off, but they're off kind of equally. So I'll just do the outsides. We don't need to cover the insides yet, or to finish the page. So I will cover the insides. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put you on hold and cover the fronts and the backs, and then I'll be right back. Well, I did it backwards, so I ended up covering both sides with this paper instead of the solid on the inside. So I've discovered that gluing them together first with your papers, and this one's just a rectangle, this one's just a rectangle, okay, would have helped me do this correctly. And it doesn't matter really. I mean, it's fine either way. It's just that now we're going to have to use a circle on the inside to cover the brads, where before we would have just had a solid color or a pattern, whatever, paper over the top of the brad, and we wouldn't have had to put the circles in, because now the circle is going to cover our pictures. So that's the way it goes. But it won't on, yeah, it will on this side too. It's all right. It's okay. I probably should have picked a different paper so that the pattern was different. Maybe a repeating pattern like this is, but something different. So that's what I did. I did both sides, and I had already cut these papers and shown you this one was already glued on, I think, and then I glued this one in. It wasn't glued in. I thought it was when I showed it to you. Now this side with the big X, which I had to do to help my brain, is the one that's going to be glued to the paper, and I think I'm going to do mine as a pocket. But first we need to do the paper in the center here. Now, if you want to have enough room to get things in and out easily, you're going to need to move your paper down so that the pocket on this side is square and the pocket on this side is, rectangular, and this one's rectangular. So all you have to do is put the paper down. She says confidently, all you have to do is draw a line here and here, and then we're just going to trim it off. Well, now we're going to see the white. I'm going to have to ink it. Should have done this first. This is only the second time I've done one of these, and looking at my other one did not help. Yeah, see, this paper's incorrect. I can still cover it, actually, as long as I don't do anything else. I think I will. Let's cover the top of this, because I really don't like the way that looks, and I don't think inking it is going to help. But we do still need to ink it in either way. See, it would have worked on this side, but it won't work on this side. You see what I mean? It's just not right. So I'm going to have to cut a bigger piece of paper for this side out of the green. I had trouble with this the last time because I didn't glue these together first. I didn't do the inside, then glue them together, and then that would have helped me get this one correct. So let's do the correct width. Yeah, see, now we'll be able to go all the way down in. That's why we should have done that last, or after we cut those little tabs off. It's going to be here. Okay. I hope this isn't confusing because I made the mistake. Oh, I can't see my line. There it is. My stomach's growling. Are you guys eating? You guys start eating every time. Oh, I did the width. I haven't done the height yet. How did I do that again? Using up all my green paper, and this was the last page I had. What is wrong with me this morning? Doing too many things. Now remember, you're not going to make it just that height. You're going to make it a little bit longer so that it goes down in the pocket. See, I've cut this down to nothing. Yeah, I knew the thickness of this here was going to make a difference. Let's see about that. Yep. Okay, so let's cut this. We have to cover all the way down to here. So that should be correct. Sorry about that. I didn't even think about doing it afterwards, that it would make it off. So now we'll put this in here. Make sure you cover the old paper. Slide it all the way up to the edge. Make sure your envelope still opens and closes. Then all you have to do is lift the edge up. And glue it along this front edge, because putting stuff in and out is not going to make a difference with the back of the paper. Make sure you get off anything that's seeping. There. Now we've got it. So now that's all the papering we need to do except for the center. Now remember, we don't want to glue the paper all the way to here. We want to glue the envelope instead. So we've got our two pockets. So let's cut this. Cutting the points off. My inking wasn't down all the way. So let's give it that little bit of a, you know what? Let's not. Let's just make them straight with no ink. You know, we really could do it without trimming it. It would be fine. Just trim this direction. Yeah, we need to have it on the sides, the border on the sides, but not on the width. These sides here, the top and the bottom, I guess it would be. What a mess I've made. So now we're just going to glue the envelope. My tailbone still hurts when I fell off my stool sideways. That bar around the bottom, you know, right above the wheels, hit me right in my tailbone. I definitely thought I was going to die. Sidelined me for a couple days because I couldn't sit on my stool at all. That's why my middle name is Graceful. See, Terry Gracefully. See, gracefully. You get it? Never mind. That was my bad joke number 1, I think. Okay, so we'll just glue this down. we do need to trim it. Finally, and if you have any extra glue from moving it around like I did, then your dry wet wipe might get it if you can catch it before it dries. Or if it dries, then just come back with your glue eraser along there. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Just like this. And then we're going to put our policy closures here. And then I'm going to want to put a belly band. Let's see how it looks in the center. I made this wider. Put the belly band here. Yeah, that'll be fine. We're going to do it after we do the policy closure. Well, actually, we can do it now. It's not like the points are going to get any closer or farther away. Well, let's wait in case I make a mistake and have to trim the points off. Just in case. I've got the two red ones with the holes. They're 1 inch around. It's 2 layers of manila folder glued on top of each other and 1 layer of the paper. Okay, let's get these even. I want the hole even with the point. It might move this off camera for me to line it up because I have to look straight down. I'm going to leave this here so I can see how far in I went. So hole straight with the point. I went in about this far. A little bit more. Let me double check that it's still straight after moving it around. This one looks farther in. Might be easier to line them up once you put the brad in the one side. I'm going to use the smallest hole. This kind of turned into a pain in the patootie, but just for me. Okay, let's turn it back over. so we're not going to get to page 3. Only because it was my fault. Kind of puts us behind schedule. My fingers are not working very well today. It's not difficult to do that. I'm going to open these side to side. Or should I do it top to bottom? Top to bottom. See, that went right through because it hadn't been tried to have, I hadn't tried to use it before. Now you can just leave them showing if you want. You know, turn them this way and just leave them showing. I'm going to glue 2 circles, which I wish I'd have had 2 more solids, but I thought I had a paper that was the red solids. I do. I have a bunch of scraps. Wonder if I can get one out of here. I don't think I can. But I did. By the very closest of margins. So then we're just going to glue these on top of here. And we'll end up with red ones. Sorry, Mr. Moose. Now if I'd have had this solid red on the inside like I had wanted, then we would have seen that moose. But as it is, we're not. Now I went ahead and put the manila folder. I shouldn't have done 2. I should have only done 1. But it makes it sturdier when you put it on top of here. But I think that's too thick now. So I'm going to cover those off screen. I'll save these for circles for something else. Because now that's too thick. It'll stick up too far. This one I can do because I haven't put it on this yet. That's what I'll do. Once your brain starts going wrong, then kind of downhill from there. I got a little flustered over the flats. But if you do the center first, the insides, and then the center, then that will help you with which side. I started the wrong way. Just put this red circle over that to hide it. Do the same thing on the other side. Then all we have to do is glue it to our paper. See, if you just use the paper, it tends to kind of stick up a little bit. I am getting glue on everything. Anyway. So let's glue this on the paper. I think I'm gonna glue it on the paper as a pocket at the bottom. Then we'll have 3 pockets. Make sure nothing got glued shut. Alright, so we're going to want to not glue this side. We're going to want to glue the other 3 sides. And I'm just going to line it up even with the bottom, just to make my life easier. It doesn't matter about gluing that shut. Okay, I'm going to look at this and see if there's a right side up or upside down. Yes, I'm going to put that. Oh, it does, because we don't have any glue on the top. And make sure it's even from side to side. It looks pretty even. I'm going to have to go back with my glue eraser, I believe, right here. Okay, so now we have that pocket, and I'm going to measure this belly band. And it doesn't matter that it's to the side, it's sticking in. I want the letters facing this way so that you can read it across here. And I really would like it. Too bad. Well, at least it's not a bare butt. Bad joke number 2. Or 3 or 4 or 10. I'm not sure. Now, how can a person draw a line and then within 10 seconds lose it? Right in the shadow of that bear, that's why. Bear shadow. Okay, we'll glue that on and then the page will be done. I'll tie the strings for the string. Or we might as well do it and get it done. Okay, let's make it so it's in the center. That's nice. Okay. Then all we have to do is cut the string. Oops. knew I should have done this off camera. So just tie 2 knots. And trim this off. Then I'm just going to go once around. It's enough to hold it, believe it or not. That way you don't have to worry about the crisscross or whatever. There's that. And you can put, you know, a decoration or something up here. Maybe even a stripe across there of something decorative. Maybe more of this. It's totally up to you. Of course, now it's not holding. Okay. It's going to go right here. I'm either going to have to thin the glue I have or add more glue to it to thin it. The next page is not hard. So we should be able to get 2, maybe 3 pages in. You caught back up. Again, I apologize for only getting 1 page done in the video. Well, we had to review the front. Make sure your pocket's open to the top. Just glue this in your section. Section 3. And that covers that bottom of that tab. Okay, so that's our page. There we go. So there's our page. We have a card here. And then when we open it up, we have a card here and a card here. All right. Now you could have glued it down as a belly band. Moved it up to the center if you wanted to. So there's our first 2 pages in section 3. Little baby staple. And so that makes it the end of this video. And I'll see you in the next video. And that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Bye-bye.